Hey everyone, so you've reached the point in your shirt where you need to create the armholes. I have a very small sample swatch here to give you an idea of what that's going to look like. So right now, what you have is the main body of your shirt, and we need to create stitches on either side for the armholes. So what we're going to do is we're first going to create the stitches on one side, go across the body, and then create stitches on the other side. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to chain the indicated number of stitches in the pattern. So for this purpose, I'm going to do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 stitches here that are just chains. And what we're going to do first is we are going to pick up loops in the back bump of each of these stitches like we normally would for a foundation chain. So we're going to turn our stitches so we can see that the back bumps are all right here. So into the second chain from the hook, we're going to insert, yarn over, pull up a loop into every stitch across. We're basically creating a foundation row just on the outside here for these stitches. Last one here. There we go. So I've got my 5 loops on my hook here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to skip this first stitch that we have because that's kind of taken care of by this stitch right here now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do knit stitches into all of our drop stitches across. So we'll do knit stitches in all of these, drop stitches across. So we're continuing on with the pattern of doing the knit stitches here, but we will just creating those extra armholes. All right, and so we've gotten to the last stitch, and we're going to do the same that we normally would do. We'll do a simple stitch into here, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now comes kind of the tricky bit. So we need to create chains on the other side, but if we did it like we did before, our chains would be all the way over here and we wouldn't be able to go back into them. So what we need to do is we need to, let's turn out of the way, we need to chain one at a time, but also pick up that stitch after we chain. So what we're gonna do, first we're gonna chain 1. Chain 1. So I can see I've got my chain 1 here. The back bump is right here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to kind of pull on this back bump a little bit, insert our hook into that back bump, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Okay, so we've just created one extra loop on our hook. So we're going to do that again, the indicated number of times for whatever size you're doing in the pattern. Yarn over, chain 1. I'm going to grab that back bump and just kind of pull on it a little bit so you can see it. Insert your hook into it, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, chain 1. Grab that back bump of the chain you just created. Insert your hook into it and pull up a loop. So I can see here now that I've created 3 new loops on my hook. So I need to do 2 more so that I'm even with the rest my other side. So chain 1 more. Grab that back bump and kind of just pull on it so I can see it. Insert my hook into it. Yarn over, pull up a loop. And 1 more time. Chain 1. Grab that back bump. It's a little tricky to do, so as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with it, but once you get your hook in there, it all works out fine. So now, if I pull that out, you can see here that I have my initial body, my chains that I just created on this side, as well as the chains that we created over here. So it looks a little bit wonky right here, but that's okay because we're going to be seaming those rows together. So now that I have all these loops on my hook, I'm just going to repeat my return pass as normal. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, all the way across. And then once that is done, I can just knit into every one of these stitches because I have all of my bumps just like normal. All All right, so I'm just gonna finish this off here. All right, we're almost there. Oh, my yarn's getting a little bit tangled, but that's fine. All right, and yarn over and pull through 2. So what I'm left with here, I'm just gonna remove my hook from the loop there, is you can see I've got the start of my shirt. So I've got all of these bumps, or all these arches that I normally would have, and I can just knit into every single one of them and continue on as normal.